Boy, say what you want about Metallica. Their influences are pristine. I couldn't stop playing this album when it was out. It was all covers. It's called Garage Days Revisited. I would just put my headphones on, play the drums to all these songs. This is a song from a Welsh band called Budgie. The song's called Crash Course in Brain Surgery. But Budgie, as early as the late 60s, was playing like loud, fast, heavy music. And Metallica loved him. So it's going back away with these guys. Some people have fallen off the Metallica wagon. Not me. They are going to be part of a benefit for Ukraine. Metallica, Bruce Springsteen, U2, Pearl Jam. All the big names are doing. I think we were running advertisements for it, actually. It's part of the Global Citizen Initiative. I always feel a little ambivalent about these two. I always feel weird when... I think it's good to do something. I don't want to be cynical about it, but I always feel weird when they were like, we're going to do a social media rally for Ukraine. I mean, listen, what are any of us going to do? You got to do something. Mm-hmm. There's a website, forukraine.com, and that's what part of this show is going to be about. So there are a whole lot of artists that are going to be performing at this thing. And the money that is raised is going to help Ukrainian refugees. And also, you know, while what's going on in Ukraine is understandably taking up huge portions of the coverage landscape, there are things going on all around the world. There are things going on in Yemen, in the Sudan, and still in Afghanistan. So I think some of the money is going to go towards those as well. But the Red Hot Chili Peppers are going to play. Ozzy. Ozzy's going to be part of this. I don't know if Ozzy knows he's part of this, but his name's on the list. Green Day, Weezer. Panic at the Disco. Poundcake's favorite punk band is going to be part of this. Will you watch Panic at the Disco as part of this? This is Friday night.
I'll watch it, and then after Panic at the Disco goes off, I'll turn it off.
You'll turn it off. You don't want to watch Kesha? Or the Jonas Brothers?
Oh, you know, I like Kesha. I'll support Kesha. She's been through some things.
Demi Lovato? Guess who else is part of this? One Christopher Rock.
Oh.
I imagine he probably committed to this before the Oscars.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
The Jonas Brothers, all three of them have kids. Gross.
Why is that gross?
I don't know. It just
one of them's on the Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah,
probably.
Pretty funny.
Probably
Nick Jonas, I think, right?
He's the actor one. Yeah.
Or Joe Jonas.
It was
on.
Joe, yeah.
Oh wow, they all have good agents.
What do you mean they all have kids? Aren't they all like 35 years old now?
No.
Oh.
They're in their 30s. They're not all.
You know 35 is in the 30s, right?
No, but they're not all 35. Nick is like my age.
They'll never all be the same age.
Right. They're not triplets.
No, Nick is my age. Joe is a couple years older than me. And then the oldest one, Kevin, is probably like 35.
Kevin's 34, yep. Joe is 32. And Nick is 29. All right.
So none of
And
them
who's the
35.
best looking one?
Well, growing up, I thought it was Joe. But now it's Nick.
I'm sorry, the correct answer is still Joe Jonas.
No.
He is unequivocally the best looking one of the three.
Why do you say that?
I didn't say that. The universe said that. It just is.
No.
It's an undeniable fact.
No, Nick has the body. Joe probably has
I'm just
the better
looking
face.
neck up. I don't care about the body.
Well, that comes
You're
into
looking
account.
neck down.
No, I'm not. Well, I've seen Nick's butt. I touched Nick. Ooh, that muscular body.
I forget about that. He
was
took a
here.
photo
Yeah.
out in the hallway.
I had to push a bunch of kids down. Oh, wait, sorry, Bill. Those
My
were your
kids, yeah.
Get out of the way!
Get out of the way.
It's my Nick Jonas picture.
Oh, those were your kids that he was...
Well, there was.
I didn't care whose kid
He'd
they
only
were.
take one picture, so it was like me, my kids, two of my kids, not all of them, but and then Erica and Poundcake, and then there's a few other people
pushing them out of the way to get to...
I cropped them out so quick. I was like, I need to be at an angle just so when I crop this, it looks like there's no hands touching me. And so I did that. Ugh, his back. That was probably the highest security, not necessarily as high security, but that was probably the highest security guest I've ever seen come into the studio. Like, he had a back entrance.
Highest profile, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, just seeing the machine work, like, he is an enterprise. Like, had the black SUVs out, had security out there. There was fans out front holding signs. And I didn't even know, that's how you know it's a big star, because they don't tell us. They told me the day of, and I didn't believe it.
Well, not only that, but doing this for a living, you kind of get used to meeting famous people. But then you forget some people are really famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's levels. Just like Charlie Puth was here, and no one told us, not because he was like a super big star. It's just because it just slipped people's mind. And I was like in here doing computer work, and Java Joel comes out. He's like, "Hey, you want to say hi to Charlie Puth?" I'm like, I ain't hear nothing about no Charlie Puth. Like, no one told me Charlie Puth was here.
I didn't hear nothing about no Charlie Puth.
And he walked in. I was like, "Oh, you are Charlie Puth." He said, "I am Charlie Puth."
Did you think Java Joel was lying to you?
I didn't think he was lying. I was just like, if he was around here, I would have heard about it. They sent hella emails. They want everyone to come down to the
I have a clip of that day when he met Charlie Puth.
And then when I got a big load, I go put it in there. I chased him down.
That was very unprofessional of you.
I remember the day Ed Sheeran was here.
Oh, I wasn't here for that.
Well, yeah, that was. But Ed Sheeran wasn't even a big star yet. He was still opening for.
That was before he blew
Taylor
up.
Swift, and so they got him in, and it was like just as A-Team was starting to get a little traction.
I forgot.
So like I walked past him, like, "What's up? What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, I'm the opener." Like, so like I saw him and like said hi, but it was more like I didn't know he was gonna be a thing.
God, how long ago was A-Team?
I forgot about that song.
That's what I'm saying. I completely forgot about it. But when you hear it, you're like, "Oh my God, I forgot this was like Ed Sheeran's big hit. This catapulted him into stardom."
2011.
Wow.
So this is 2013. So I guess that song had already been a hit, but it wasn't like he was on his way, but he was still not like he is now.
He was kind of the Susan Boyle of pop music. They were like, this guy better know how to sing.
Yeah.
Because he's nothing to look at.
Well, he actually wanted to be a rapper when he first started, and then they were like,
"There's still time."
Every boy does.
There's still time. Let's make that switch, Ed Sheeran. If you're listening, if you're, tag him, say, "Hey, it's time for Ed Sheeran to make the move into hip hop." I want to hear those flows.
The way people treat you when you're a celebrity, it's just...
Oh, I know. Yeah, listen, I think that, speaking of rappers, did you see the dude where they propped his body up in the club? This club in D.C. now is kind of apologizing to people, but I assume that the family rented the whole place out. This rapper who was killed, they think that he was killed by... who's that?
That was me.
Oh, boy. They think that he was killed just on an armed robbery on the street. His mom said he gave the guy everything he asked for, and he still shot him dead. A guy named Goonew, Goonew, in D.C., and they held a homegoing ceremony for, that's what they're called, right? A homegoing ceremony? Not a funeral?
Homegoing celebration.
Homegoing celebration at a club in D.C., and they propped his embalmed body up on the stage. He's standing there with like a phone in his hand. He's got a hoodie. He got glasses on like he's looking at everybody.
Bro,
this
that's
isn't
creepy.
Unprecedented. I remember years ago there was a dude who was like a Pittsburgh Steeler fan or something. This does seem to be a big thing in the black community.
It is
though.
It's a black community thing.
Why is that?
Because they've...
It's not just, I've seen white guys do it too, but it seems like, because I don't know, man.
Black people view death differently. They feel like you're leaving your body and you're going to the great beyond. So
well, that's what a lot of white people think too.
But the thing is, they like to celebrate. That's why they call it a homegoing celebration. They like to celebrate you how you were when you were here. And if they see you out there with your cell phone and your sunglasses and your hat, like they
want to celebrate your life, not the loss.
Not the death.
See. So they want to
remember you how they remembered you.
So they don't want it to be overly... I mean, there is obviously sadness attached to it, but it's a gamut of emotions, I imagine. It's not just, let's not just be sad. Let's also... have appreciation that we got to have this person in our life.
My family has never been ballsy enough to throw something like this, like the embalmed body, and
Well, if you die, we'll make sure that happens.
I remember years ago, a dude who was a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, they put him in head to toe, black and gold. They put him in his armchair, and they buried the whole thing. There was another guy that was on his motorcycle, and they buried all that. This guy was up on a stage, standing there, embalmed, and the family was like, that's how we want to remember him.
Poundcake,
it's something that I wanted to do. That's how my kid wanted me to do it. That's how he wanted to go out. He wanted to celebrate his life, turning up, having a party.
Turning up.
He don't want people to be
turning
sad
up and having a party.
Crying. He always wants people to be happy and having fun.
Moreau, who went by the stage name Gunu, was shot and killed in Prince George's County on March 18th. His death remains an open homicide investigation. There was an autopsy performed on his body. It was released to the funeral home, and the family tells me they wanted to have a celebration that they said properly reflected his life. This was at Bliss nightclub at Northeast D.C. Fox 5 is not sharing images posted to social media, but I can tell you the body was upright.
You know, you've already seen them, but we're not going to share them. When are people going to grow up? I'm telling you what, man, I was watching a lot of cable news last night, specifically coverage of what's happening in Ukraine, and they were talking to people, and every time they would cut to B-roll, so much is blurred out. And I'm like, man, if you want people
to take it serious,
this is the biggest thing to happen in Europe in a half a century. There's some, they're talking about war crimes and genocide and all this stuff. I don't know why they're still blurring out bodies on television. I don't get it. We're grown-ups, for one thing. If your kid's watching the news and there's dead bodies, you go, well, here's what's going on over there.
That's the news.
That's the news. I do not understand why they're still doing that. Because they're sure as hell not blurred online. It's more likely your kid's going to get on, if you're worried about that, it's more likely your kid's going to get online.
What was the website?
And find headlines,
What was the website that was notorious for showing, like, dead bodies and people getting killed?
I used to go to rotten.com back in the day.
Rotten.
I mean, in the mid-'90s, Rotten, there was... Ogrish was another one. And it was just... I think a lot of that stuff is... You can probably still find it on Reddit. There's some pretty dark stuff on Reddit, but...
Why would someone make
it's a morbid? It's morbid curiosity. Well, that was the early days of the internet where people were like, "Oh my God, you mean we can put anything on this?" You know, and so
and you can find it pretty quick and pretty easy.
People jumping from buildings, and people in India that were all packed on top of a train, and then a bunch of people hit a power line and they go up in flames, and people who killed themselves by laying across a train track and they're cut in half, and so there's I'm sure that stuff still exists to some degree online.
Now let's get back to Poundcake's homegoing ceremony. Celebration. Do you want to be in your bed eating Uber Eats?
I just have my hand in a bag.
Yeah.
A hand in a chip bag, yeah. Sponsored by Lay's.
Yeah. Well, you'll have all your favorite orders. We'll go through
he enjoyed Lay's of all kinds.
So have my headphones on, have my laptop next to me, my hand in a chip bag, and then just an array
gummy worm hanging out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Gummy worm. Well, my mouth is going to be sewed shut.
Your lap full of bed rice.
Yeah, you got all your
bed rice is right there.
You can just put all little crumbs of the food on me to make it seem more authentic.
We wanted to remember Cody Brown as he was in life.
Keep my original sheets.
Yeah.
That won't be an issue. I bet those original sheets are still going to be on the bed.
The dirty sheets are probably going to be the cause of death.
Probably.
We had to chisel them off the mattress. Somebody tagged, I think, me and Cody in a tweet. Well, I think we all follow like Uber Facts or something like that on Twitter, and said that the average male changes his sheets 4 times a year. Ooh. I was like, oh my God.
Told you, see, y'all want to make me feel like I'm all alone. I ain't alone.
Poundcake's better than that, I think.
Yeah, he's got that beat. It's not great, but
I mean, nobody would ever accuse him of...
Once a month is better than... once a month is way better than quarterly.
I say sometimes once a month.
Well, it's the equinox. I guess it's vernal equinox. Time for me to wash my sheets.
Did you figure out your washing machine? Did you talk to your landlord?
Yeah, they're still waiting to come. They're backed up. It's not an emergency. We have emergency, sir.
A washing machine emergency?
No, they're saying they're all tied up, as in other people have other things that are higher on the
They
priority
got other
list.
slums they got to fix up.
Pretty much.
Wow. All right. They give you an ETA?
They said they'll text me.
We'll text you, sir. When
Man,
we
you
show
might just
up.
have to learn how to fix a washing machine.
Well, no, because I don't know. It's just a draining issue. But like,
Get on YouTube. See what they say.
They need to tell me like the day of. They're like, well, what's your availability? I said, none. I'm gone all week. So if I'm going to be leaving my door open, I want to know what time are you going to be there? What day are you going? I'm not
Say, how about this, guys? I'll leave all my dirty laundry on the front porch, and you can just do it.
They wouldn't care. They would like, leave your little stanky laundry on the front porch. We still ain't going to touch it.
Do that stanky leg. Stank. All right, I'm going to break, and I will return with Mastodon tickets to hand to you. Mastodon and Opeth are on the road, just a couple of Saturdays away. They're going to play April 23rd at the Agora, if you want to go. Poundcake Sports Break is on the way as well. If you want to text for anything else, 35192.